Hey everybody, I want to take a few minutes to sit down and talk to everyone about where I live and why I'm here and how much it cost me. In my first video I explained that I was initially supposed to go to Cambodia, and at that time the coronavirus was starting to hit pretty bad. This was into May, beginning of April, into March, beginning of April. I was supposed to be in Cambodia at the end of March. Well, the morning I was supposed to leave, and my mother can attest to this. Hi, Mom. We got up at 4 a.m. We're getting ready to get into the car, getting ready to, head to the airport, and I got a message from somebody that I know over there, and they were telling me that the borders were closing to people from certain countries, and of course the US was one of them. So I looked, and the border was supposed to close the day after I was supposed to get there. I was going to leave Billings, Montana, and then fly from Billings to, I think, Salt Lake City, and then to Japan. I was supposed to stay the night in Japan, and then fly from Japan to Cambodia the next day. And then the day after that, they were closing the borders. Well, I was thinking, there's no way. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to get stuck somewhere and not be able to come back. So I called my airline. I fly Delta. They've actually been really, really good to me, especially helping me with getting my dog and everything. And actually, I'll be calling them again in August, shortly, in the next 2 weeks, to get a flight back, for a few months. So that canceled those plans to go to Cambodia right away, because that's, I wanted to go to Southeast Asia first. But honestly, I have to say, I am happy that I didn't, because I love Mexico. I have several videos that I'm working on right now. I'm actually editing 3 or 4 right now, and I'm going to be releasing a video every week, a travel video, showing you what I'm doing and what's going on. So, yeah, I had to change my plans once that happened, not being able to go to Cambodia. And I was thinking about it, and I knew the land borders to Mexico were closed, and I still had the travel bug, and I wanted to go. So I was like, all right, well, let's start researching with the easiest countries to get your pets into, because I have my dog. And Mexico was pretty simple, and they're still one of the most lenient places to get into. So that's what I did. And what's funny is I was going to go to Oaxaca first, which is in the mountains. It's a little higher elevation, a little bit cooler. But as I was researching, I found out that they were closing, the city of Oaxaca was closing its borders to all visitors. So I was like, all right, where can I go that's nice, but I also wanted to learn Spanish and not be surrounded by a bunch of English-speaking people. It's where I was forced, that's kind of where I was when I lived in Germany. So I decided to go way south in Mexico. I went to Veracruz, and I will, it's right on the coast. It's a big shipping port in Mexico. It's Veracruz City, which is in the state of Veracruz in Mexico. And I was there for about a month and a half, and I was dying from heat. It was way too hot for me. So I decided that I was going to leave there, and I came to Xalapa with some friends, and loved the city, loved the vibe, and the weather is so much better. I'm actually sitting on my roof right now. I climbed up here. I was going to try and get some shots up here. I may do a panoramic view later. But I didn't want to do it right in front of the neighbors, because some of these, I look right into the neighbors' windows, and I don't want to do that here. But I may show you in a little bit. So that's how I ended up here. Now, I had already booked an Airbnb in Veracruz after the Airbnb that I was staying in had expired, but I ended up renting a house here in Xalapa at the same time, so I actually ended up spending double the money. So these are going to be some lessons for you to learn, is to not to do double spend. I don't regret having that Airbnb because it was a nice place I could go and stay the night if I wanted to go down and visit Veracruz, but I don't regret renting the house, other than I wish that I had been smarter about it, finding a place with furniture so I didn't have to buy everything. So all in all, I spent 8,500 pesos a month for rent, which is, I'm gonna have to look at the pesos conversion. I think it's around $350, and then I pay an additional 350 pesos a month for the security guards that are here. I pay them directly and I get a receipt. So it's 8,850 pesos per month for rent and security, and that is less than $400 a month. And then I have to pay the electric. I don't have to pay water. The landlords had already paid the water for the year, so I don't have to worry about that. And I did get internet and cable hooked up. That's actually the most expensive, is the internet and cable. I'm gonna have to adjust that. So the electric is, I think, 200 pesos or less. And I think, wait, no, how much did I spend? I can't remember how much I paid last time. It wasn't very much. It was like 200 pesos, which was like $8 or $9 for electric last month. But I didn't use the air conditioner that much, because it's actually really nice. Like right now, some clouds are coming in. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna try to do this. It rains here. It was raining every day, but you have these clouds that come in. It's nice and cool. The water, if I had to pay for that, it probably wouldn't be more than $20 a month. Let's see, my internet, I got a package. It's like 250 gigs or something like that. I pay 1,178 pesos, which is actually pretty expensive. It's like 1,000 pesos is around between $40 and $50. So I'm paying 1,178. I think I paid a little over $50 with the exchange rate this last time. So that's the most expensive, is internet and cable. Now I chose a package that was a little bit more expensive because I wanted high speed internet. Just because I do a lot of streaming here. That's another thing I want to recommend, is if you do come to another country and you plan to do some streaming, anything that you want to watch in the US, you should get a VPN and use a server on a VPN. I don't have any affiliates or anything, but I use CyberGhost. They're a company I heard of from another YouTuber, and I just got a 3-year thing through them. Let's see, and that's even paid VPN providers aren't that expensive. Well, some of them, the ones that I researched. You can get free ones, but I don't trust the free ones. Yeah, and then for food, I live right behind a mall, and they have a Chedraui there, which is kind of like it's a grocery store. It's kind of a higher end grocery store, and you can find some expat stuff there. Walmarts are everywhere. Walmart's the cheapest here that I found, unless you go to a local market, and that's super cheap. I do have a housekeeper. I have her come once a week. It just depends on you can negotiate with the person that you have cleaning how much you want to pay. I think I might pay a little bit more than normal, but it's okay. I had lunch the other day. There's a place called Talks. It's a Mexican restaurant here. It's actually a really nice Mexican restaurant. You'll see it in another video that I have. And they have what they call paquetes, which is like a package, or like you see at McDonald's and any other restaurant. It's like a meal. And I think there's some for like 130 pesos, which is less than, let's see, 200 pesos is about $9. So, yeah, that might be a little expensive if you're really on a tight budget. I mean, there are places where you can buy a meal for like $1. You know, and I think I paid like $6-7. Of course, you order beer and stuff like that. But there's so many different places that you can go. Like where I am, it's an expensive neighborhood, so things are a little bit higher here. It's a higher neighborhood. But you can go places and get stuff super cheap, food, street food, local markets, things like that are a lot cheaper. And I'll have some video of that in some future videos. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over everything, kind of clarify some things that were in another video. And a quick shout out to a friend of mine who reminded me to record in panoramic and not portrait. Thanks, G. And thanks for watching, and if you like and you want to see more, subscribe. And I'll see y'all later.